こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材は、PSG とアタランタとセルティックが獲得しようとしている19歳の日本人左サイドバックに関する動画です。誰のことかと思いましたが、小杉啓太選手という、残念ながらアンダー20もちゃんと見ていないサッカーファン初心者の私にとっては知らない選手でした。すでにスウェーデンで活躍しており、カンファレンスリーグでベスト4まで勝ち進んだこともあり、ビッグクラブもすでに注目しているようです。今回はセルティックファンのチャンネルであるライアン118から、トランスファートークの動画の中で、小杉啓太を獲得にとても前向きであるものの、チャンピオンズリーグのファイナリストである PSG が相手では、勝ち目はないだろうと落胆している様子です。実際にどのように話しているのか、PSG やアタランタも獲得に動いているという小杉啓太というのはどのような選手なのか、チェックしてみましょう。
So there I was yesterday talking about Celtic's transfer shopping list for the 2025-26 season. Little did I think that literally the next day we'd be talking about transfer rumours already. That's right, it's already time for it. Celtic Transfer Talk is here, and let a long summer begin of rumours coming from left, right and centre. Some that we'll have to rubbish, some that might end up presenting us Celtic players for next season. So, stay with me. We're here all summer. It's time for Celtic Transfer Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. We are less than 400 subs away from 50,000 subscribers. As I mentioned in my intro yesterday and the day prior, we done our two-part series previewing a big summer window for Celtic. We spoke about who will come into the club and who potentially should leave the club. If you haven't seen those videos, I will point you in that direction. But today, we're talking about transfer rumours because Celtic are already being linked with players. Some reports even suggesting we've already had bids rejected for players. So, I'm getting prepared for this. It's my favourite time of the year. This is where I make my money. I don't want to keep us here all day. I just want to get into the thick of it, you could say. Not the KSI song. Not that. Nobody needs that. I just want to get tore in. So here we are. We have arrived at Celtic Transfer Talk for the 25-26 campaign, and we start with a report coming from Japan which suggests that Celtic are a side interested in PSG target Keita Kusugi. The headlines suggest that the strong-hearted defender who has played in Sweden and a member of the under-20 Japanese national team is also of interest to Celtic. Now that was a report that came out from Sponichi Annex in Japan, of course, with our strong links to Japanese players over the last few years. There is very much credibility in this story. They opened the article by saying that earlier in the day that PSG were revealed to be a club that were looking at the potential signing of Keita Kusugi. Apparently they want to acquire him from Swedish First Division side Djurgårdens, and according to multiple sources they've already been in contact behind the scenes. Some media outlets have reported that the probability of acquiring him is around the 40% mark. Now you might be thinking, Ryan, what has this got to do with Celtic? We're talking about PSG, Champions League finalists, trying to sign somebody here. Well, we were name dropped in the same article because if you go down a little bit deeper, it does say that Kusugi has been long aiming to transfer to a big club and to get to the Champions League. More importantly, say winning the Champions League. Multiple clubs, including Celtic and Serie A powerhouse Atalanta, have also shown interest in him, leading to a fierce battle for him. Attention is focused on the decision of the young hopeful who could have been selected for the first time for the national team for next month's World Cup qualifiers. Alas, I don't believe he has been selected, but Celtic have been name dropped in the article. I was really excited when I seen Celtic's name linked with Keita Kusugi last night. I was familiar with him through a few Twitter threads that I'd passed in recent months, and knowing that we needed another left back to come into the club, I thought him being a younger guy with room to develop, that could have been a good option for Celtic. However, when I started reading the articles that PSG and Atalanta are two of the sides looking at him, and with PSG being Ligue 1 winners and Champions League finalists, potentially Champions League winner-elects, I suddenly felt a lot more down about it because it feels incredibly unlikely that Celtic are a side who would win this sort of transfer battle. I guess first and foremost you've got to ask the question, how much truth will be in this story? Well, with our Japanese links and with how well the careers of Daisen Maeda, Kyogo Furuhashi and Ryo Hatate have gone at Celtic, I'd assume that it's an attractive place for Japanese players to come at the minute. And with them only playing in Sweden right now, rather than halfway across the globe or over in the Far East, it's a much easier move. I just don't fancy our chances up against the likes of PSG, especially if reporters in Japan are saying that there's a 40% chance that he could head there. He's played 29 times for Djurgården this season, including 4 goals, 2 in the Conference League, in fact, where he has been an ever-present in that Djurgården side. In fact, he played against Chelsea, if you remember their incredibly successful run in the Conference League this season. It's catching the eyes of a few of their players, and hence the reason why the likes of PSG will be interested. It's an incredibly believable story, no matter how you look at it. With the run that they went on Europe, he was a very important part of that, and no wonder Celtic will be looking at him as well. I would love us to be confident and optimistic about trying to make a transfer like this happen, and I'm not saying that it's impossible. I would just say that you probably need to be a little bit realistic about things. I would keep an eye on it and see where it goes in the next few days or weeks, but I wouldn't fully expect him to come to Celtic. One of the big positives about him, if he was to choose Celtic, is I don't think he would come in at a huge fee. The record sale is for Lucas Bergvall to Tottenham for around £8.5 million, which means this wouldn't be an incredibly expensive transfer. I don't imagine they would look to break the record with him either. Bergvall was a very talented attacking playmaker, one of the best prospects to come out of Sweden in recent years. I don't think they would be looking to break that, so maybe something in the £5 million range will be his price tag. It's just whether or not Celtic can persuade him to come here if we are truly watching him. So we'll wait and see. I would just be patient with this one, because I don't know if it'll amount to much.
次は解説です。相変わらずスコットランドアクセントが田舎らしいというか、すっとこらしいというか、可愛らしさを感じますね。ボキャブラリーは難しいものもなかったので、イディオムでもないものの、表現方法やフレーズのようなものも解説しています。それでは本日の解説をチェックしてみましょ
う。And let a long summer begin.
この表現は、文法的には命令形の構文、レッドプラス名詞プラス動詞の原型で、なんなんさせよう。なんなんを始めようという意味になりますが、ここでは直訳よりも、何かがいよいよ始まるという雰囲気を表現する比喩的な言い回しです。特に、サッカーの移籍期間や政治の季節、ドラマチックな展開が予想される時などに使われます。ロングサマーという語感からは、長くて騒がしい、変化の多い期間を暗示しています。英語のドラマやニュースなどで聞く機会もあるので、雰囲気とともに覚えておきましょ
う。And let a long summer begin. And let a long summer begin. I just want to get tore in. So here we are. We have
Get to in は、スコットランドや北イングランドなどでよく使われる口語的なイディオムで、本気で始める。ガンガン突っ込む。全力で取り掛かる。という意味を持ちます。例えば、サッカーの試合や作業、食事など、気合を入れて何かに向かうときに使われます。トアは、破るという意味のティアの過去形で、文法的には正確ではないカジュアルな表現ですが、ネイティブ間では非常に一般的です。英語学習者にはやや難解なスラングですが、自然な会話やスポーツ実況などでよく耳にするため、覚えておくと表現力がアップします。
I just want to get tore in. So here we are. I just want to get tore in. So here we are. We have also shown interest in him, leading to a fierce battle for him.
フィアスは激しい、熾烈な、強烈なといった意味を持つ形容詞で、戦いや競争、感情などが非常に強い状態を表します。例えば、フィアスバトル、フィアスストームのように使われます。また、人や動物の攻撃性、強さを表すときにも使われ、獰猛ななどの訳になります。さらに近年では、ファッションやパフォーマンスなどで、最高にかっこいいキレがある、という意味で使われるポジティブなスラングにもなっています。文脈に応じて意味がかなり変わるので注意が必要です。
Have also shown interest in him, leading to a fierce battle for him. Have also shown interest in him, leading to a fierce battle for him. Alas, I don't believe he has been selected.
アラスは悲しいことにやあいにくといった意味を持つやや古風な英語表現です。日常会話ではあまり使われませんが、スピーチ、詩、ナレーション、 文学作品、ドラマなどでは感情を込めて事実を述べる場面で使われることがあります。会話よりは書き言葉や朗読向きで、アンフォーチュネーティと意味は似ていますが、アラスの方が感情的でドラマチックな響きを持っています。ネイティブが簡単や失望を表現する際に使うことがあるため、リスニングでは覚えておきたい単語です。
Alas, I don't believe he has been selected. Alas, I don't believe he has been selected. I thought him being a younger guy with room to develop.
Room to develop は、直訳すると、発展のための空間ですが、英語では比喩的に、まだ成長できる部分がある。ポテンシャルを秘めている。という意味でよく使われます。特に、若手の人材やこれから経験を積んでいく人や組織などに対して、今は未完成でも将来的に大きく伸びる可能性があることを前向きに示す言い方です。ビジネス英語、スポーツ解説、教育現場など幅広く使われる便利なフレーズで、トイックやビジネス英語の中でも自然に登場します。
I thought him being a younger guy with room to develop. I thought him being a younger guy with room to develop. I just don't fancy our chances up against the likes of PSG.
I don't fancy the chance というフレーズは、その可能性には期待していない。それがうまくいくとは思えないという意味で使われます。ファンシーはイギリス英語で、何なんだと思うや、何なんを好むの意味がありますが、ここでは予測を述べる用法で使われています。The chance は特定の状況や話題における成功の見込みを指しており、やや分析的、客観的な響きを持ちます。控えめながらも否定的な見方を伝えたいときに便利な表現で、トイックでは直接でにくいですが、ニュースやスポーツ解説などではよく登場します。
I just don't fancy our chances up against the likes of PSG. I just don't fancy our chances up against the likes of PSG because I don't know if it'll amount to much.
Amount to much は何かの結果や価値につながるかどうかを表現する英語の定番フレーズです。特に努力や計画、提案が最終的に意味のあるものになるかどうかを評価する場面で使われます。否定形で使うことが多く、結局大したことにはならないや、思ったほどではないというようなニュアンスを含みます。会話やニュース、ドキュメンタリーなどでよく使われるため、覚えておくと実践的です。
Because I don't know if it'll amount to much. Because I don't know if it'll amount to much.
いかがでしたか？小杉啓太という選手を私自身は知りませんでしたが、スポニチがソスであるものの、すでに PSG が獲得する可能性が 40% だとも言われていることから、明らかに具体的に動いているものだろうと推測できます。PSG で出場するには相当な難易度があると思いますが、今や幽閉クラブとも評価されてしまっているセルティックに行くよりは、2番手以下のポジションでも PSG やアタランタに行けることがあるなら、そこで勝負することは大きなチャンスではないでしょうか。全く予想外のところからの移籍の報道が、思った以上にビッグクラブへの話で驚きましたが、このような噂が出てくるのは興奮する以外にありません。セルティックファンのライアンはすでに諦めモードですが、セルティックには良い補強だとも話しつつ、希望は捨てていないようですので、また今後の進展を追っていきたいと思います。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。